For the longest time, I'd always dreamed of having my own space. A space where I could make videos, chill out, read, rest, and play games. But what would I want that to actually look like? There's thousands of videos out there on the internet right now with people kitting out their rooms with the slickest tech you can imagine.
Whoa, hold up. What is that?
Oh, they fly now!
They fly now?
They fly now!
Everything from custom mini fridges to RGB clouds on your roof. But I don't think there are many videos online like this one. What I'm gonna try and do here is just keep it real. I wanna show you how I went from this to this. Progress is slow. Things really do take time and energy, you know? Even the fun things. I wanted to create a space where I could unwind and create friction-free. A space that is cool and inspires creativity. But the moment I looked online, I was inundated with a bombardment of rainbow vomit. See, it was either that or I was attracted to a setup that looked really nice and happened to be exceptionally out of my price range. Take lighting, for example. I knew I wanted some form of lighting to make my videos look less amateur hour. But the most popular type of lighting that I saw on the internet was the Elgato key light, which happened to be $329. And they want me to get two of them to set up. That's kind of crazy. This left me really quickly asking a rather existential question. What do I actually want in my setup? And the first thing I realized, which is probably obvious to most people, is that everyone's out to sell you something. I've very quickly fallen into the pitfalls of thinking that if I don't have X product, what's the point in even making videos? I remember distinctly thinking that my space would be absolutely worthless if I didn't have a mouse pad that has a wireless charger inbuilt. The honest truth is that I know I don't need the fancy gear to get started and start making videos that I like. I just bought into that lie. This is to say that the first hard lesson that I learned was to be content with what I had and not just rush into purchases. Ironically though, we're now gonna talk about what I got. So what did I get first? Well, no good setup is complete without a decent rig. So the first thing to do was to upgrade my PC, of course.
Of course.
I use a program called DaVinci Resolve, and while the specs that I had in my previous computer build were good for light gaming, they didn't really cut it when it came to actually rendering and editing videos. So I ended up upgrading almost every component of my PC to try and streamline my editing. I even splurged a little bit on a fancy cooler. All up, this was the most expensive thing I did. This cost me almost $1,500. Yikes! I installed the parts myself, and to my surprise, the system didn't work. This really sucked. I ended up having to pay an extra $200 to send it back to the retailer to get it repaired and looked at. They ended up running diagnostics and found that I was sold a faulty RAM stick, and 3 weeks later, I had the PC back in my hands and I was ready to go. At least, I thought I was. You see, a new issue had occurred. Now every 3 hours or so, my computer would completely shut down and blue screen. Great. I tried every troubleshooting method I could. I dived all the dingy subthreads in Quora and nothing stood out to me. Nothing fixed it. So I took it back to the shop again. This time, they found that fancy pants cooler that I bought was faulty. Great.
You were the chosen one!
Better still, they weren't going to replace it for free. Awesome. I ended up paying an extra $50 and got an even better cooler, but suffice to say, the situation really did suck. 3 weeks later, after countless emails, I finally have my PC, it's working, we are good to go. Mwah, thank God. You see, upgrading my PC was my step one, and I'd already run into so many roadblocks and frustrations in what I assumed would be a really straightforward process. Maybe that's the lesson. Things rarely work out as smoothly as you think. Now that my PC is ready to go, the next and possibly most daunting thing was the room itself. After countless videos and guides, I've discovered 3 things that are essential and imperative for the gaming room setup. Wow, that was super cringe. The first, filling the space. I had a whole bunch of office stuff lying around, including a printer and stationery that I knew I needed, but didn't want to clutter my space with. So I put all that away in my cupboard. It's now accessible, but hidden. I also knew I wanted a spot to just chill and lie down. This couch was a hand-me-down, and for now, fits perfectly for my needs. Free is the best price. I also recently upgraded my mousepad from this to this. Unfortunately, no wireless charging in this mouse pad, but hey, the pad was only 30 bucks. Not bad. The next thing I knew I wanted was a shelf to display my figurines I'd collated over the last couple of years. I got this shelf from IKEA for about $150, and to be honest, the aesthetic fits perfectly. To the right, I borrowed a plant from my wife's army of plants. I think adding a bit of greenery really livens up the space. Which then brings me to my second imperative, lighting. I spent many long hours adding different lighting and lighting equipment to my Amazon cart, only to cancel or delete it several minutes later. That's $800 for the Razer Light Chroma? What? You're kidding me. $800? Heck me, man. No thanks. After reading many reviews, I eventually landed on 3 lights. The first light I purchased was for my shelf. I bought a smart light from my local Bunnings to add a bit of ambience and mood to my backdrop.
You can't buy that one, right?
I also really enjoy having a backlight on while I'm gaming or just chilling out in here. It's cozy. Next, I purchased some Nanoleaf LED strip lights. These lights are really bright and accentuate my display really nicely. They're probably my favorite thing I've purchased. Absolutely do your research before buying LED strip lights. There's a lot on the market and a lot of them aren't so great. I'd personally recommend getting Nanoleaf or Philip Hue if you're interested. I mean, just look at them. They look awesome. Heck yeah. Wait, hang on, I'll show you. Whoop, I just turned them off. You see that? See that? Huh? Oi, come on. And you can even have it change color in the background as well. Hey, that's pretty cool. That's nice. And the last light I purchased was not the $329 Elgato key light.
It's not okay though, it's not.
Heck no.
You know?
Instead, I opted for the Elgato key light mini. Ended up picking it up for $88, which was pretty sweet. However, lesson 1, remember? Nothing, what was it again? Oh, yeah. Nothing usually works out as straightforward as we think, or we want. You know. So, you know, my luck. The light broke immediately the moment I started using it. Dude, this is like, look at that. What the heck, man? Dude. What the heck? I think the Lord is teaching me a lesson in patience and perseverance. Thank you. However, the replacement came in just 2 days and we were ready to go. Look at these things, man. These things are really bright. So, you ready? Off. Ooh, wow. So, with just one light, we went from this to this. Pretty amazing, right? The last imperative for me, and I guess coinciding with the last lesson I've learned, is I've learned that I'll never have everything. Honestly, if I purchased half of all the stuff that I wanted to get, I would have serious buyer's remorse right now. It's still fun to plan for the future. I'd love to have some more RGB strips, I'd love to have an RGB tube light, and I'd love to have a nice fancy chair one day maybe, and of course some nice cable management stuff. What I have right now is by no means perfect, and compared to those YouTubers that have crazy setups, this thing probably looks really weak. But you know what? I like it. It's not the flashiest game room, but that's okay. We all start somewhere. And if I could talk to myself starting this whole process, I would say, take it slow. It's okay. Companies and retailers want you to feel like you're missing out on something without their product. But the truth is, you're really not. Your life is your life, and we can all live it with or without that really nice Secret Labs chair we want. Anyway, this is my new space. I hope you've enjoyed me walking you through it and hearing how it all came together. If I missed anything or there's anything you'd like to know more about it, leave a comment down below and I'll get to it ASAP. And while you're there, I want to know, what would you want in your dream setup? That's all I have for today. Have a fantastic day. See ya.
Here are some downloaded peaceful sounds.
Yo, listen up, I got a story to tell about a company that made my PC feel like hell. You mighty plan to be the best in town, but you parts had me wearing a constant frown. Faulty components, a PC nightmare. Blue screens galore, it just wasn't fair. Water cooling at all, what a joke. Your pump was broken, it nearly made me croak. Finally you sorted the mess you created, but the friction it left me agitated. I hope you learn from this track I write. Customer satisfaction always be a light.